Now that we have constructed the bed, it is time to put it in its final resting place. Before we start filling with soil and talking about the soil mix, you just want to make sure it's in a spot that you'd like it to stay for a while. So south is this way here in the northern hemisphere. That's our best direction for light. So I want to make sure that throughout the day I'm getting good sun placement across the bed. I want to make sure I've leveled the ground. I want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to be blocking it or intruding in it. I want to make sure that there's a nice pathway for me to walk around. I've given enough spacing between the other beds that it's going to look and feel really nice to work in. And now that I've got that done, we need to go ahead and get our soil mix. Now, as far as soil goes in the Birdies beds, you've got 15 inches of height, and then you just need to figure out what configuration you used. So this is about a 2x6, and so we're looking at around 16 cubic feet of soil. So now you know the amount. The question then becomes, what actual type of soil should you use? Now, in my opinion, when you're growing in a raised bed like this that you're gonna dedicate yourself to for the long term, it makes the most sense to put in the highest quality stuff that you possibly can. So if you have the money to spring for a really quality bagged potting mix, I'm using my friends over at Aliki Gardens. It's called the Frages mix, which is just a fantastic blend. But if you don't have access to something like that, or you want to mix your own, then I highly recommend something like 50% screened topsoil, 25% compost, and 25% other sources of organic matter. Things like aged manure are a fantastic choice. That's what I would recommend, but we're gonna go ahead and fill it up. And as far as how high you wanna fill it up, I like to fill it to about 2 or 3 inches, because then I can actually throw some mulch on top, which is going to be crucial for growing in a raised bed like this. We want to make sure that we preserve and protect that soil structure at the top of the soil, that first 6 inches, and a nice little 2-3 inch layer of mulch is a fantastic way to do that. But before we do that, we actually have to fill this bed up, so let's get to it. Now that our bed is full, you can see I left about 1.5 to 2 inches for mulch. We need to water it in, and actually we need to kickstart the microbial life that's already present within this particular soil mix. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a nice healthy water in, but I'm also gonna give it just a little bit of fish emulsion to provide a little bit of that nutrition for the soil microbes. Then we're going to go ahead and cover it up with mulch, so we're protecting this soil surface, and this bed in a couple days, 1 or 2 days, it's gonna be ready to plant into. Okay, we're almost done with bed setup now. So I've got my fish emulsion. It's from Alaska, which is a company that I just really prefer. And I'm gonna apply that first. And that's what you like to see with the new soil mix. You like to see that water go straight in, not pooling, not too much clay, nothing like that. I'm gonna give it a little bit of extra water because that wasn't quite a lot. And then at this point, it's time to apply the mulch. And the mulch layer, again, it's just to protect this soil. This is new soil. It's soil that we want to cultivate, some really healthy soil life. So what we want to do is we want to make sure and protect it with a couple inch layer of mulch. And I'm even going to go a little bit above and beyond, and I'm going to sprinkle some bokashi bran to really kickstart the fungal life in this system. And we're going to put that in between the soil surface and the mulch. See how that does. But we're almost ready to go, guys. And you know, from setup to install to planting can be about an hour, hour and a half or so. And I would encourage, if you do decide to go really big and aggressive on a raised bed system, to buy your soil in bulk. See if you can get a couple yards of soil. It's going to drop the price significantly. You can actually ask for custom mixes from certain growers or certain producers, so it can be a really effective way to get results, and also on a little bit of a budget. So this step is completely optional and a little bit of overkill, but what I'm going to do is take some bokashi bran, which is basically lactic acid bacteria, and just sprinkle it on top. We'll just do a little bit here. And once activated with a little bit of water, those spores are going to come to life, and they're going to start to attack and colonize some of the dead material, which is that mulch that we're laying on top. So we're going to get that nice bloom of white fungus, and we've also got some nice soil life, soil microbes present in the mix. And so what we're kind of cultivating here is we're saying, hey, soil, you're in a new home, come back to life. Let's respect what's going on underneath the soil here so that we can get something really nice coming up out of the soil here. So I've got some mulch here. This mulch is pathogen free. It's been through the thermophilic process. It's something that you're not gonna have to worry about weed seeds or anything like that. So we're gonna dump that on top. We're gonna spread that out really nicely. We might even give it a light water in. But at this point, you can go ahead and spread the mulch back and plant in if you already have things to plant, but I prefer to give it a day or two, wait, let that life really come back, let that soil condition a little bit. And at this point, your Birdies bed, or any raised bed for that matter, is in a fantastic spot to be planted in. We've done everything correctly, guys. We have a good height, we have a good volume of soil, we have high quality soil in a good location that's getting enough light, enough nutrients, enough water, everything that it needs. We're giving it the proper protection with this mulch layer here. And our annuals, our vegetables, our fruits, our berries, whatever you really want to plant in here is going to absolutely thrive. You know, when you let the soil do the work, you are saving yourself a headache, you're saving yourself a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of annoyance, and you're kind of just working in tune with nature, which is really the way that, you know, we want to be gardening when it comes to outdoor edibles, outdoor annuals. So let's give this one little water in. And oh, I turned the hose off, but I'll give this a quick water in. And I thank you for watching me construct a bed from scratch, fill it with soil, and discuss some of these important concepts. So when you start your raised bed garden, your raised bed vegetables, you actually have a really good solid footing of understanding to go into the garden and get a lot of success. All right, this has been Kevin. Good luck in the garden and keep on growing.